Should you buy Call of Duty Modern Warfare in 2022? Call of Duty Modern Warfare is almost 3 years old, and with Modern Warfare 2 right around the corner, I couldn't help but go back to the original Modern Warfare, well, not the original, but the 2019 version for you veterans out there. I see you. So I thought it would be fun to head back and see how Modern Warfare was left, and no, I'm not talking about Warzone. Yes, there were original CODs with their own separate multiplayer that was actually good or decent before Warzone, my 8-year-old viewers. Believe it or not, there was separate multiplayer. You didn't have to play Warzone. It's amazing, right? You guys should play it. You should play it. So we will be talking about both the campaign and multiplayer with no spoilers, and I may mention survival of Spec Ops, but I may not because it was such a throwaway mode, it's kind of pointless talking about it. Also, I know the campaign isn't going to change after years and years, but I like talking about them, and you're buying it at the end of the day if you do choose to buy Call of Duty. So to all the comments complaining, my friends, I say this politely. Eat shit. So let's start with the multiplayer to see if it's worth playing in 2022, and then the campaign, which hasn't been changed. The multiplayer of Modern Warfare 2019 has seen better days. Naturally, content isn't really being added now due to the amount of years Modern Warfare has been out. However, for some reason, Modern Warfare still gets the occasional gun, which is pretty damn cool, although most of the time they're really overpowered. Probably because they want to sell skins, let's be honest. Let's be honest here. They sell the crappy skins and then they balance the gun, but yeah, Modern Warfare has been in a better state, but I still think it's pretty good. Progression is actually really good. You have your classic COD progression at this point. Hop into a game, use a specific gun, shoot people, level up and customize. That's the classic COD gameplay loop, and it is really good. If you haven't picked Modern Warfare up because you think it would deviate from what you liked, that's not the case. It's very much the same, but with a new coat of paint. Maps are pretty good, but they're all extremely tilted towards campers. Now, I won't sit here and act like previous CODs haven't been a camper fest, but here it is particularly bad. I haven't been shot in the back this consistently in a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare, and that's the original Modern Warfare, by the way. As much as I dislike Call of Duty Vanguard, campers do have a tough time in my experience in that game, so to go back to Modern Warfare, it really does take a minute to readjust to the gameplay pace so you can get into that Call of Duty rhythm, mate. Weapons feel great, much better than previous CODs. The recoil most of the time feels pretty damn good and natural, and the sound design of these weapons are pretty damn great. I just got myself a pair of, I don't even know how you call them, Biodynamics DT990s, I think they're called, and the sound of Modern Warfare really blew me away with them, so much care was put into that part of the game, but I can't say the same for the balance, but the sound, woof, the sound is good. Unfortunately, you don't hear footsteps very well. The doc is right. Dr. Disrespect is right. The sound in terms of, what's it called? The soundscape for enemy footsteps? Not great. Not great at all. You can barely hear them most of the time. At least that's me. Maybe I'm deaf. I don't know. Movement is simply the best it's ever been in the series. It's superior to every other movement system in previous CODs and is better than Cold War, and especially Vanguard. I despise Vanguard. Customization is also the best it's ever been. I don't think Cold War or Vanguard came anywhere near to Modern Warfare's level of customization. Obviously, because it's modern, it has more options for customization, but even so, that doesn't change the fact it is the best customization that has ever been in a Call of Duty game, and I will stand by that. It still is. I'm hoping Modern Warfare 2 will whoop its ass, but, you know, sometimes sequels take steps back. Let's hope they don't do that, but they might. We don't know. But the customization for Modern Warfare 2019 is very, very good. I'm not quite sure why I feel like the balance seems really off with weapons. Maybe I'm just wrong, but I do feel like SMGs tend to be far too overpowered at range, and snipers tend to be pretty useless against assault rifles or SMGs, etc. There seems to be a serious balance issue between these weapons, and I think I'm not the only one who feels that way, as I rarely see anyone running snipers. At least in 2022, I haven't seen a single sniper, apart from those guys that run around with snipers with the iron sights. You're disgusting, you're vandals, you're criminals, you shouldn't be playing the game. How dare you do that? Map design is also pretty damn good, as I mentioned. And I think that's because Infinity Ward ditched the freeway map design for the most part, which became pretty much the norm for Call of Duty, so it still feels very fresh to this day, and still shakes up the gameplay loop for me. Anytime I play Cold War, I always tend to go to Nuketown, so that's the chaotic stuff I'm used to, so it was a nice change of pace for me. It may not be for you, but it was for me. This is all great, but unfortunately the multiplayer still has some hackers despite the game only being 2.5 years old, which sucks, but hey ho. Nothing me or you can do about that except report them. But then again, who cares? Activision got their money. Activision got the bag. So fuck us, I guess. That's the way it is. Well, hey. Overall, the multiplayer is pretty great, and while this review isn't too in-depth, I don't think it needs to be. It's Call of Duty. You get some guns and you shoot some guns and you turn it off. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it is. The question is Is it better than other CODs, or is it about the same? And I think it's better than other CODs. I think it's the best COD we've had in years. Still, we need to see what Modern Warfare 2 does. So with that out of the way, I'm excited to talk about this campaign, baby. Modern Warfare is a complete reboot of the Modern Warfare name. Returning characters like Captain Price are all voiced by different voice actors, and while it takes a while to get used to these voices, it does eventually sink in. I can't say the same for Black Ops Cold War, but that's a review for another time. You follow two different squads. You have Price and Garrick, and Alex and Farah. Both are set on different parts of the planet. You'll be jumping from London to the Middle East a fair bit, and it really isn't that jarring because it's paced really well, It's surprising how well paced this actually is. You go from crazy action set pieces in the Middle East to quiet, slow moments in places like London. I'm sure you all know about those stealth missions with night vision, etc. And man, replaying them was such a treat. I forgot about most of the enemies, and with my new audio setup, I heard a guy through the wall, clear as day, and unloaded a hellfire of bullets, and it sounded so damn good. The story itself, without spoiling much, is pretty generic. It is your usual, they have a biochemical, oh my god, they've got biochemical weapons, holy shit, what are we gonna do? Let's shoot them all. That tends to be what it is, but it's the way the story is told that makes all the difference, really. And Modern Warfare decided to go down that dark, gritty style, and I really loved every second of it. It feels like we're back in the days of World at War, or the original Modern Warfare, funny enough. How convenient is that, the original Modern Warfare? But they build up these different villains as well, that it's not just these people are bad, these people are good. They actually have some nuance to it, and there's some twists, and I quite like that. If that's going to carry over to Modern Warfare 2, we'll see. I hope they don't do General Shepard again. That's all I'm saying. I'll save that for the third. Mix it up. Don't do Makarov. Don't do any of that. Do something new. The writing does its job, and the soundtrack is phenomenal. It's very clearly inspired by the likes of Sicario. If you haven't watched Sicario, please do. You'll be doing yourself a favor. It's directed by one of the best directors of all time, and the soundtrack is simply phenomenal. Level design is pretty varied and is some of the best in any Call of Duty I've personally played, at least from what I can remember. It doesn't quite hit the quality of Black Ops 2 for me. Now, I do have a soft spot for Black Ops 2, so that may be an unpopular opinion, but I love the campaign for Black Ops 2. I find myself screaming Menendez every few weeks, so yeah, I'm pretty biased. Menendez! The best missions are easily those slow-paced, intense stealth missions. So much detail in both sound and visuals, it was simply impossible to beat by those epic set-piece-like moments in the Middle East. We've seen all of that in Call of Duty before, but we've never ever gotten that slow, paced out, very scripted type of scenario in a Call of Duty game. You do have your stealth moments in previous games, but they weren't anywhere near as limited or as precise as these slow, methodical missions, and I really like them. I want more of them. Make more. It is traumatizing. Make more. We want more. Characters are also cool as fuck, and sure, Soap and Ghost and all that aren't in it, but, well, I was satisfied with what we got. It didn't feel like characters were there just to, be fan service. They had a reason to be there, and there was a nice blend of characters we already knew and characters that have been made specifically for this reboot. This new gritty style really suits the entire direction of the franchise, and the soundtrack, once again, it's great. Great visuals, apart from when you play on low like me because I'm an FPS guy. Great sound design, pretty great levels, and some levels that really stand out from the rest. Great pacing, good characters, and a campaign that actually exists, Battlefield 2042. I see no reason why you shouldn't at least give the campaign a shot in 2022, especially if Modern Warfare is on sale if you're into FPS games. If not, I don't think COD is for you. That being said, please do not buy this at full price. The way Activision has handled Call of Duty over the last couple of years, they do not deserve full price. They just don't do it. Leave it alone. Wait for it to be like 20 quid. If you're on console, go into your local second-hand store we have CEX. They screw you over when you sell your games, but they do sell games pretty cheap sometimes. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all the support. We've just hit, as of this moment, we've just hit 10,600 subscribers. That's insane. Thank you. I can't say it enough.